Our first panel is on Web3 gaming and the Metaverse. Recently, Web3 games have been replacing NFT collections as the engine leading our industry. Will the Metaverse hype fade or make a remarkable comeback in the next bull run? Which segments are worth focusing on, and which Web2 companies will be the early adopters? Please welcome to the stage our moderator, Osnat ben Nesher Zaretsky, co-founder and CEO of Alsomine, and our panelists, Christoph Niemann, blockchain architect at AWS, Gilad Kahala, lead product manager at ChainSafe, Tomer Weiss, a Web3 product manager of a stealth startup, and Adan Kedem, a blockchain strategist, and Kesem, a crypto gamer.
Good morning, everyone. We appreciate you waking up early enough to be here right now, because we know it's not easy, especially working late into the night, I suppose, for quite a few of you. We're very happy to be here. We have a very interesting panel for you today, very diverse, looking at different aspects of the topic we attend. And we're very happy to be opening the sessions today for you guys. So without further ado, I want to assure you we're going to dive into the painful topics here as well and see what we can come up with to be on top of this game later on. So, Metaverse. The biggest player who dove in was Meta. Meta spent $15 billion, have 1.2 billion captive audiences daily on their platform. And we are looking at them now and we're saying, they failed? Have they failed? What does it mean for the Metaverse at all? Is there market fit problem? Is there a market product fit problem here? What does it mean for the rest of us? So I would love to hear what you think about this, because this is definitely affecting all of us in the Metaverse space. Who wants to take this?
Just want to start? Yeah, I think it might be, I'm not sure if it's a failure, to be honest. I mean, Meta did take this step and it did experiment, probably as the first large company to do that. And of course, they weren't there at the right time, and it's kind of really crappy what they came up with so far. But I think, I wouldn't call it a failure yet. It's just too early to tell. I think it's probably going to rebound. It's probably going to be miles and leaps better than it is now in 2 years' time from now. So I'm not so sure it's actually a failure yet.
By the way, feel free to introduce what you do a little bit further when you talk.
Yeah, okay, I'm Christoph, I'm with AWS. At AWS, we do have some blockchain services, and that's kind of where I come in. Usually when customers are interested in using blockchain services at AWS, I can help. I'm a blockchain architect for AWS.
Go ahead.
So hi, my name is Gilad. Right now, I am the director of product at a company called ChainSafe. Before that, previously worked at IBM and Fiverr and co-founded a company to simplify the student loan repayment in the US that was acquired by Acorns and democratizing access to student loans. So crypto is really talking to me. Well, are we going to continue doing introduction?
I think we can do both. So you're welcome to say what you think about the topic, or you can pass it on.
So maybe let's continue with the introduction.
Yeah, let's do that first
Tomer
for a second.
is such a great introduction, so I mean.
Yeah, hey everyone, I'm Tomer. I'm a product manager at Hypernative, a Web3 security company, still in stealth mode. I'm also a co-founder at ICC, so thank you everyone for coming to the event. And I'm an NFT user and also advisor for 2 NFT related projects. Yeah, if I may, I would like to share what I think about the Meta experiment. So I do believe it was like they had maybe a mistake just on the product market fit, because I think it would smarter if they like build or design a metaverse for gamers. I think like gamers is the right go-to market right now. We see it in Fortnite, in Roblox. If you have more gamified experience to the metaverse, it's attracted the right audience. And they launch or kind of prototype, which it's a little bit similar to Second Life. And the way they presented it is more like, okay, this is a platform for just hang out with people or do kind of like job meetings. But we see that what is going on right now is Fortnite. People enjoy to meet each other there. There was even concert on Fortnite. Yeah, so I just think that if people create metaverses, they should like think about gamification and also about creativity and allow people to create their own content. And Meta was not focused on that two killer features. So this is the problem, I think.
One. Can you hear me? Okay, we're live. Just kidding. So basically, my name is Adan Kedem. I'm CMO and co-founder of Worldbusters, and what we do is basically develop 3D websites inside those metaverses. And besides that, I have a long history. I started my blockchain journey back in 2017. Been CMO of several blockchain companies, some successful, some not. But at the end of the day, a metaverse is, I think, a place for peer-to-peer interactions. It's, if you don't give the builders what they want, they will not come. And that's the main problem with Meta. They give you a very limited set of tools as a builder. Because we build worlds, you want to use your own assets to build that world. Meta is limiting you only to their assets, so you cannot drop in any models that you create. As a builder, it's like shooting me in the face before I even start building. You can use only this block, this size, here with 15 people. So the other thing, they take 50% commission from all sales on their platform. It's a killer for anyone who wants to join this kind of mentality. It's a centralized mentality. I think their main problem is the centralization that they rely upon. That's what's destroying their platform, because on different platforms like Spatcha, like Altspace, Sandbox, and others, you don't have those limitations. You have other limitations, but not those ones. As a builder, you want freedom, and you want people to join you and build a community around your product. And when it's closed up like that, it's a problem. I think that's the problem with Meta.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. I'm Kesem Fine. I am a massive nerd, massive gamer my whole life. Been in the investment space of venture capital for about 3 years. The past year, I've been at Overwolf as a business development manager, working on strategic initiatives, partnerships, and startup investments from our $50 million fund. I've seen a lot of stuff in the Web3 and gaming space. For those that don't know, Overwolf, we're a traditional gaming company. We build a platform that allows creators to earn a living from their passion by building apps, mods, private servers, or even games. So over the past few months, I've seen a lot of Web3 startups and a lot of different players in the space, and we've since stopped investing. But I've had a lot of time to think about exactly this question of like Metaverse, why have they failed with Meta? Why is it not really emerging? I think to echo what some of the other panelists said, it's the core audience has not been catered to, which is gamers. They're going to be the first use case or users for this world, right? I think that successful metaverses emerge. They don't get directly built. I think the dream of the metaverse already exists, but it's on the fringes. It's within the private server space of a lot of games like Ark or Minecraft, as some have mentioned. And there you have a world that's been built with the end gamer in mind, a world that's fun and has the tools for someone to want to inhabit it. Once someone wants to inhabit it and you give them the right tools, people and their innovation and their creativity will emerge to help build that out, right? Now, Overwolf, we recently acquired about 10 months ago a company called Tebex that is the main monetization engine for the whole private server ecosystem. So we monetize about 18,000 private servers around the world. And I've seen some creators, they've turned, let's say, Minecraft private servers into their whole new game, have 1,000 users on at a time, have people are able to put real world money in, buy things, sell them, and it's this entire almost metaverse that emerged out of giving people the right tools and letting their creativity flow. And kind of going back to Meta, they built it opposite. They were like, oh, we want a metaverse, so let's see what do we need for a metaverse to happen? Well, we need a virtual economy, and we need VR. And they kind of skipped the actual realization that these things emerge when you build a infrastructure for creativity and you build a world that people want to live in. And right now, Meta's metaverse is not a world that I would want to live in. So to close this topic and introduce myself as well, my name is Osnat ben Nesher. I'm a co-founder CEO of Alsomine. And we've created a platform called NFTers that's about to launch very soon, I suppose. And we're connecting businesses and consumers over commercial NFTs. So we've actually mapped out what you get, where you get it, who's behind it, ability to give feedback, to find all the utilities that someone offers. So give businesses an opportunity to use NFTs in a way that creates a real business step change for them through NFTs and not just a nice to have. And of course for consumers to get the value out of what they have. And on my take as a business strategist of many years in senior corporate strategy roles with companies like Accenture and Ernst & Young, there are two reasons I think Meta went down the road they did. Number one, they needed to own the infrastructure. So Apple, Samsung, they own mobiles, and Facebook, we're supposed to pay them quite a lot of money every time someone used or transacted through their phones on Facebook. And they thought, okay, what would be the next iteration of physical technical devices that we can actually dominate? And they went down the route of AR, VR. And once they've had this device, they were like, okay, what do we actually do on it? And they tried to do digitalization, which is a classic traditional company thing to do, right? So they went down the route of, okay, let's just take Facebook and make it 3D. And unfortunately, this is classic situation where you try to superimpose a culture that works for one platform into something completely different. So that's kind of my take on it. So I think it's a good time now to kind of look at what is actually the difference between metaverse and gaming, because I feel like it's easily confused, and I feel like there is a room to separate the two and look at two as different business models completely. And I would love to hear your take on what are the real differences and how do we look at gaming as opposed to metaverse?
I will take that for sure. And yeah, so first of all, they tried. I think you were spot on with the headset, with the Oculus. But another thing that was a thing they tried was Libra. It was a coin. They tried way back and they failed because they're a centralized entity and they're failing in these things because they're good at one thing as opposed to other things. And I think because they have that model. But the difference between gaming and metaverse. Well, I started my gaming experience back in the 80s. Yes, I'm that old. And I had like an Atari. That was my first set. My TV, I had one channel on it, or two. And all of a sudden, there's a game. I can control the TV. It was fucking amazing. Sorry about the profanity. But it was amazing. It was amazing. And as a gamer, I developed the Megason, and Xbox, and PC gaming. We already live in that metaverse as gamers. It's nothing new to us. Gaming and metaverse is the same platform, but the metaverse is completely different from a gamer's mindset because you go to community events and it's all about the community. In gaming, usually you do it for, like if you go to Rust, part of it is raiding and violence and weapons, but the metaverse is not about weapons. It's not VR, it's not AR, it's not Web3, and it's not Web2. It's a combination of a lot of things which make it interesting, but it's lacking the gaming set because of the graphics and because of the UI UX and search engines and monetization that is not there right now. But besides that, the metaverse is not, in my eyes, of course, is not just for gamers because the worlds we build is for companies to have meetings there and events and education and a lot of other things that we do inside our buildings in our metaverse, not just violence or just games. We learn and we educate and we transact and we do a lot of things that you can only do peer-to-peer. in the same room. So it's not like a Zoom that you're on the same screen. You're in the same room experiencing this, but just in virtual reality, in 3D. I think it adds, besides the gimmick, it has the element of utility. And once you comprehend that everything you see and touch is, let's say, interactable, but it gives you data that you can rebuild and recreate everything. I think the metaverse is way different from gaming, and it's not just for gamers, it's for everyone. And it's the metaverse, it's the, a parallel world that we are living in, but just not in 3D yet. It's gonna happen.
If I may. If I may, just to, I love the take. And I actually want to take it from a different angle and then come to this question. So on Wednesday, I'm sure most of you have, like, I started playing around with the GPT-3 chat. It's been amazing. I wrote the new episode for season 11 for Friends. It's great. Monica and Chandler finally get their anniversary. It's amazing. A new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles song called Pizza Power. Never mind, I've been playing around with it. I actually started working with it. I started summarizing the meeting. It is insane. And what I'm trying to get to is we've been talking about AI for about, 20 years? Each time that we talked about AI, it's been either been overhyped or, like, no one is actually doing AI type of notion. And then finally, on Wednesday, you can see a path to AI, to generative AI that's actually working. What I'm trying to get to is, like, we're so early. We're so early. We're still looking at this oven and waiting for the bread to be baked, and it's not there. And we'll keep asking, like, has it been baked yet? No, it hasn't. It's going to take a while. And what I'm actually looking for is, from all of the different things, I'm actually looking for the number of engineers working in Web3. Right now, we have about 20 to 30,000 folks working in Web3. It's so low. It's so low. We're not even talking about adoption for users. Adoption for engineers is very low right now. Out of the 20 to 30 million of engineers that we have, very small penetration. So it's going to take time. So when we're looking at differences between, if I'm coming back to this question about differences between the metaverse and immersive gaming, it's kind of like coming back to, like, so if I'm translating, it's like, what's the use case of crypto? And again, it's kind of like coming back to, we're too early. And I mean, what I want to say here is, like, we're going to see the use cases emerge and see a connective plane between, if you will, like, different metaverses. Like right now, when we're going to play one immersive game or one blockchain game, one game, so it's only one avenue. When we're going to have the blockchain, it's going to connect us. When we're going to have a true metaverse, it's going to connect us. And we could buy an NFT in this reality and play it on a token-gated reality in, like, the metaverse and those type of things. So yeah, I think, like, that's the beauty of it. And I actually want to say one last thing, and I'm going to bring it back to the panel. This is my unpopular opinion. I am so happy that Meta and Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg are in the metaverse. So happy. I'm so happy that they've tried Libra and failed. I'm so happy that they're going to do Meta and likely will fail. I'm rooting for them to fail, if I'm honest, but I'm very excited they're putting billions of dollars in the meta space, because, like, we need adoption. We need customers coming in. What's better than, like, the most amazing product person that's ever lived on the face of the planet trying to figure it out? Hopefully they will fail, and likely they will fail because they're centralized, as you're saying. But I'm super excited that they're there trying to figure it out. So yeah.
Can I, just a sec, one interaction. I want to, something about what you said about their failure. Microsoft did a test with their HoloLens, it's their headset, $22 billion with the US Army. How do you think they did? They tanked. 6 out of 9 tests
their application
failed.
for medicine is
So
amazing.
Yeah, but Microsoft is building, like, twin cities, like digital twins. They have, NVIDIA is working on AI for Metaverse. Microsoft just bought the entire gaming industry for 70 billion?
something like that.
Yeah. So what are they working on? So, yeah.
I just wanted to add something to what you were saying. With the metaverse, I think if you compare that to gaming, we're probably where the gaming industry was when we had Tetris or so. And now we have Unreal 5 engine. And if you look at it, it's just miles ahead. But I don't think there's a question if it's coming. It's certainly coming. It just takes time. Just like with any technology adoption, adoption really, it always comes. It just takes time. It usually takes longer than one expects. And right now we are sort of really hoping for it to be there tomorrow. It won't be. It probably will take another couple of years or so, but it will come. And we need that exact engineering adoption now so that we actually pave the way through there to get to that adoption. And then I agree with what I think you were saying before. Metaverse itself is, of course, much larger than gaming. Gaming is just, if you will, a subset of it. And then, of course, if you're looking at the larger metaverse, I heard someone say, right now we have all these Zoom conferences, and they kind of aren't the best thing that we have. So then the take was, all right, we won't have that in VR. It's even worse than Zoom. But of course it is now. It won't be in the future, and probably it will take off once the virtual conferences get so much better than the real life ones that you actually want to go to virtual because you have these many more possibilities. You can, I don't know, use whatever kind of progress we have in the metaverse that aren't there in reality. So I think that's the leap that we need to take. And OpenGPT has just done it. We've got there with chat AI, and that's sort of, it's amazing. I've just had the same feeling as you. It's just really amazing.
I feel like Tomer has something to say about this.
Yeah, so I also think, like Gilad, that it's like that the attempt of Facebook is like good for selling the idea of metaverse, and it's good for adoption, developers, entrepreneurs. I also, back to the first question about the difference between games and metaverse. I would be happy if metaverse will be like a concept or idea, and if it will be built from bottom up, not like from up to bottom, like Facebook attempt. They did the same with Libra. They tried to buy or like take the entire ecosystem with Libra, and it's the same what they are doing with their metaverse platform. Like, I believe metaverse should be a concept, and that it can be created from many apps that connected maybe with blockchain, but yeah, so the difference between a metaverse platform and a game, that first of all, it allows for individual to create their own world, and it's connected. Basically, you can move assets or identities between platforms.
Kesem, do you think we need a different business model if we do gaming in metaverse, I wonder? If we try to combine?
Going back to, I think my point in the previous thing I said is metaverses emerge. I think once there will be a big enough toolkit for people to build and somewhere where they can be, then they'll want to spend their money there. And business models will definitely emerge from it. What do you mean when you say like a new business model?
Because if you're thinking about gaming before now you can do one inside the other as well, right? So immersive gaming in metaverse, for many people, they expected metaverse to be an immersive game. They didn't know what to expect, right? So do you see that like being a savior for metaverse, maybe for today, not for 3 years from now?
I think metaverses are an evolution of immersive gaming to a large extent. If we're talking about the savior of it today, echoing what the other panelists has said, it's once generative AI starts to click in and people can, with clear text, describe something and a 3D model can be generated for it. Already starting to see early players in the space that are building very interesting stuff there. Once that accessibility comes in, people will have a much easier time building these worlds, and these metaverses will evolve from immersive gaming experiences. I think right now, to a large extent, the models that we have work. I don't think there's going to be an evolution of another business model. I mean, a metaverse is really just a digital space where people do what they do here. So like buying, selling, trading. I don't know if we need a very complicated infrastructure to be able to do it. I think that, you know, recent events have kind of broken the public's trust in the idea of deregulated, non-centralized exchanges and the ability to trade peer-to-peer. People will be very happy for, you know, existing models to a large extent as long as they work.
So models, that's a good one. So models that would work, which business models, which enablers do we need, right? So identity, NFTs, different engines, interoperability, what do we need to really drive this adoption?
I have something if I can. I'm in my core, I'm a business development and marketeer. So I've been doing digital marketing for 15 years, something like that. I've been selling likes on Facebook before it was even on the platform. So basically, as a gamer, I pay money not because of, it's because I believe in the game and I'm part of the game. Why am I still paying $60 for a Call of Duty game that I played 500 times before? Because I adore the brand, I'm part of the community, I want to kill people online. There's a lot of things I...
Huge positives, absolutely.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, Call of Duty, which is making $60 on a game, said, you know what, now it's free to play. You can download Warzone right now for free, Fortnite for free, Apex for free. Where's the money? So it's digital goods. That's what it is. And there's no advertising in there yet. There's nothing in there yet. So think about in-game advertising that is actually in the narrative itself. You don't have to advertise real hard. The metaverse is a platform that you are living in the story of the storyteller. And the storyteller is in there with you. So he's like, hey, click there, write your name there, take your NFT from there. That's the business model. You're in there with your client, taking them through what you build. It's not like you put someone in there alone. And that's the biggest problem with the metaverse today. People that build places, they live it barren and alone. No music, no people. So you go in there alone and you're like, okay, I'm alone. So imagine how awkward it would be if I would be here alone talking to myself in this metaverse-like place. So people need to understand they built an asset, they have to occupy it with people, they need a community. That's the basis of everything. And that's the business model, the community that wants to be there and share. And it's not just for conferences. I've been to a funeral in the metaverse for one of our community members that died in Altspace. So it's not just for conferences. I've been to a synagogue, I've been to a church, I've been into a Muslim, I don't know how to... Mosque, yeah. And they had like Muslim studies, not because I'm Muslim, but I could access it in a way that I cannot access it anywhere else. And they treat me like one of their own because I look like them. And they welcome me in because whatever the reason is, that's the metaverse. In VR, it changes. Everything changes into that place that you are in. It's not just a business model. It's a world with an entire infrastructure to build your business model on. It could be anything you want.
Great points.
And maybe one thing to add directly to that, what happens in the metaverse is you have this much more direct connection to your users that you never had before. So when last time we had the sandbox alpha, there was many worlds in there, and one of them was a like Smurf world. I went through that, and at one point you meet that NPC, non-player character, that starts talking to you. And I then started talking back. And after a while, I noticed probably it's not actually an NPC, it's probably a human behind that. It's probably actually the person that built this world. And that was a revelation. Then the entire conversation became much more different because I thought, I'm not talking to a bot, I'm talking to a real person. And he or she is interested in my take on what they built here. So it was a really cool experience. And that's only possible in the Metaverse, I think.
Sounds amazing. I actually loved your points. I want to go back to marketing, just like when we're talking about what's going to enable this space or anything of that sort. So I'm talking to a lot of businesses just to understand how they're thinking about crypto, metaverse, gaming, whatnot. And whenever I just mention the word NFT, that's it. Like the conversation is done for the next 15 minutes. I will have to explain why it's not a Ponzi scheme, why it's why can't you just download the image, why it's just not a hype or whatever it is. And that's definitely a marketing problem. Just about 4 months ago, Reddit solved it with digital collection. So you have a digital collection and that's it, that's solved. Like that, it's the same as NFT, but it has a different word. And what I'm trying to get to, we're still at the adoption phase. We have huge marketing problems. We have very large product and adoption and onboarding concerns right now, and still in the infrastructure phase. I'm actually looking at the big players. Like about 2.5 months ago, Starbucks has launched their NFT reward system. Their Starbucks, if you don't know, is not really just a coffee shop. It's actually a bank. Like they have billions of dollars in rewards and they're making interest on those rewards. And now they shifted it all to NFTs and a crypto-based system. And this is amazing because when I talk to businesses and they're like, crypto, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Like continue talking like weirdo, sure. And then I mention, oh yeah, do you know that Starbucks has actually started? Oh, okay. Let's start talking. And I mean, those businesses are going to start enable us in 2 ways. One, we're going to get conviction from other businesses because they're going to be like, wait, there's something here. And on the other hand, they're going to help us figure out adoption, which let's face it, we don't know how it's going to look like. We don't know how the consumer, I don't know how my wife who keeps playing Candy Crush will want to earn money on playing Candy Crush, not do anything else, like actually just receive NFTs. I can't like keep tabs on her every time, asking her what does she think about. She won't listen to me. She can't, we can't even pass like the first sentence. So yeah, like just wanted to share that.
Kesem, Candy Crush addiction there too? No?
I would like to add something for the business model questions. I think a new challenge for current games going to be the fact that today the business model or the game economy is closed. And in Web3, like Web3 native user expect the game platform economy will be open. So there will be a secondary market. People will be able to sell what they earn in the games. So it's going to definitely affect the future games business model, the secondary market, the openness of the platform. So this is something to think about too.
If I can add something.
Go ahead.
Like, I've been doing blockchain marketing for 6 years, and every 6 months you have to change your strategy because there's a new 3-letter world, like NFT, ICO, DEX, whatever. Every couple of months you have like, DAO, nobody's here talking about DeFi.
That's 4 letters.
Yeah, because they kind of, that's why nobody's doing yield farming, because DeFi is 4 letters and not 3. But let's ask a different question. Who has an Xbox here or any type of console? Phones? Everybody has phones? Who has a Beat on him, like the Paper Pay, one of those? Everyone. So everybody is adapting to something they can use and has value. And I think those are the problems right now. You cannot use it, and the value proposition is always concentrated around money. And that narrative needs to change, because when you order a pizza, let's say, for example, do you read the white paper of that pizzeria? And do you check if they have like a health warrant, like they can produce even food, they have a license? You're checking their license if you can eat out of that pizzeria? You just get the pizza and you're like, good pizza. Yum. You give them your credit card over the phone to a 16-year-old that is like, yeah, give me your card and whatever. But nobody wants to download a MetaMask and do that. I mean, why? Those are the questions before business models. We need to make it work and accessible. It's the main problem of our industry is built by engineers for engineers and not for users.
I feel so much better about my own company now because that's what we're tackling. So
exactly, we need to bridge the gap, connect the physical to digital, and then we can give them the metaverse. Yeah, but if we do not do that sort of connection, it won't work because NFT has to go back to something that you can hold. It has to be like a physical connection.
There has to be a value that is beyond that image. The image doesn't matter.
The value is not money. It's the usability and what you get from it, the joy, the experience. If you don't have those, the money is meaningless.
If I may add, actually, I know I'm a moderator, but we've actually done research on this specific topic with consumers. We haven't published it yet, but here's a little excerpt for you. We've checked what do people really want and how they feel about utilities or uses or accessibility. And the one thing that came out very strongly is that 72% of people prefer utility and business over ETH value. So even if the ETH value seems to be growing or good, they still prefer utility and business usability for NFTs. So I think I think we're all in agreement on that point.
Let's take Roblox. It's another metaverse. Roblox is a mobile, it's on PC, it's on Xbox, it's free to play, it's free to build, and you can buy NFTs there, and it has an economy, millions of users, Spotify, Walmart, McDonald's.
300 million users.
All the huge people are building on Roblox. And it's run by 14-year-olds. You know how much money they're willing to spend, like minimum, each week? $100. 14-year-olds have money, yes? They have needs and desires, and they using skins. That's the core audience. I mean, none of us here would do that, but we would buy other things for a lot of money if it brings us value. Again, it's value, usability, and the community has to drive it forward, or else it's not gonna be anything.
So we're about to wrap up this conversation. So a final word from you guys. What's your hope or vision? And a quick one.
I hope Metaverse will succeed. I'm fairly confident that it will, and that I hope it will be quicker than I expected.
Yeah, I'm just going to go from the angle of, you mentioned MetaMask. MetaMask is the worst product out there. And I'm going through there because like in 20 years, we're going to be like, remember MetaMask? Wow, what did we think?
Remember OpenSea?
Remember DOS? Remember DOS at the 80s and start of the 90s? That's the phase that we're at right now. That's the phase of the Metaverse. Product community adoption will be key in the next 10 years.
I hope that the next NFT-based use case will not be just for crypto natives, but for the mainstream. And I hope we're going to see it very soon.
I hope that we will stop using the words blockchain and NFT and just give real products to real people because they don't care.
+1.
I look forward to generative AI turning anybody into a builder in the digital revolution of the future. And I also look forward to what Neil Stephenson and Lamina One are up to, because he's the actual guy who coined the phrase Metaverse.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It was a great conversation.